Hello, it's Danek from CreateProxy.com here. Today I'm going to show you what new bring Merchant extension to CreateProxy.com. Let's compare old cloud tools with new Merchant tools, so you may see difference. As you can see, I have added failover support. Thanks to you may add up to 256 additional IPs. Number of IPs depend on provider and template. Also, thanks to this new tool, you do not need to worry about bandwidth fees that nearly every cloud provider charge. And also there is new feature called routers that allow proxy resellers control network traffic and also allow them dynamically create or remove credentials for their own customers. So what are failover IPs that are now support? Failover IPs extend main server IP with additional IP addresses. Most of the templates support multiple IPs, so you can purchase them and include them in proxy server installation. So CreateProxy will install them for you. For example, when you create instance with cloud tools, you basically receive something like this: one IP address for which you got access to HTTP or SOCKS 5. And for this setup, you will pay something between $3 to $5 per month, depend on provider and selected instance. So let's take a look how new Merchant proxy setup will look with only 5 failover IPs for the same monthly price. Since most of the providers give you also IPv6 address, CreateProxy will turn this IPv6 address into IPv6 HTTP proxy, which may be used only for domains and hosts that support IPv6 addresses. Also, you may see that one server is listening on 5 failover IPs. So basically you got access to 7 different HTTP proxy IPs for even less than you would pay for cloud setup. Virtual private servers has usually only one IPv6 address, but most of the dedicated servers come with IPv6 subnets. CreateProxy then can create on this subnet thousands of unique IPv6 addresses. But please note that IPv6 address may be used only on hosts that support IPv6, and also note that any provider with advanced firewall may block your whole IPv6 range. So that's why IPv6 address may not be as cool as you may think. Most providers for who I have built templates has no bandwidth limit, only connectivity speed limit. CreateProxy Merchant has something why some CreateProxy members may not want to use it. It is because they just need to use specific proxy until that proxy gets banned. So another feature is CreateProxy IP pool that may solve this issue. So let's talk about IP pool, why it is useful and why it is solving many issues for CreateProxy members. CreateProxy IP pool works just as any cloud provider IP pool, with one difference. CreateProxy will not give any user banned IP address. Cloud providers do not care if you got banned IP address for specific domains or hosts. To find out if assigned IP address is banned, you need to create instance. Then you have to try if proxy is banned or not, and if so, you have to remove instance and repeat this process. So CreateProxy is saving you time by automatic ban monitoring. You as an owner of proxy IP may add any of your proxy IP to IP pool. It is easy as one click, and then a proxy from your proxy server may be used by other users for different hosts for cache. When another CreateProxy member buys access to your proxy, you will automatically receive 65% of total price to your CreateProxy balance. Another cool feature is that if you add your own proxy to CreateProxy IP pool, another CreateProxy member or customer may not see what IP address is using, because your proxy IP address is working behind router. Your customer got only access to router, which looks like a regular proxy IP address. So let's take a closer look on routers. They look like regular proxy, but it is not proxy. It is something between real proxy IP and customer to secure your proxy network, and to dynamically manage credentials, upload and download speed, and manage whitelist hosts and more. For routers, there are basically three main reasons why you want using them. But firstly, proxy routers are not required and you don't need to using them. Main reason why you may want using proxy router is that you can hide your real proxy IP behind router, so later your customer may not see what proxy IP they are using. Another feature for router is that you can dynamically control every access point. For example, when you give someone direct access to your proxy, only way how to regret his access is by changing server setting. This will cause at least that your proxy server will be down for all your other customers for a while. This is not happening just because of routers. CreateProxy now include auth management that allow you to generate proxy access on specific routers to only specific hostnames. Basically, auth management is here to communicate with your routers. There is also time expiration, automatic router IP firewall, and many more features. So as you may see, customers, instead of direct access to any of your proxy IP, going through your own proxy router. And of course, you may have any number of routers or proxy servers. You may even build clusters. It is always recommended to create a router for proxy server in same location, otherwise you may face to speed delays and other problems. Basically, you do not want your customers to access proxy IP over router on the second side of the planet. Such requests have to go 2 times over planet before it hits its target, and of course there will be huge time delay, no matter how speedy your proxy server and proxy router is. That's all from me now. You now know new features of Merchant tools. Specific video tutorials are attached in specific templates in Add Server section, because every template may be created for different provider or with different requirements. Thank you for watching, and if you have any question, please publish question in question and answers in CreateProxy.com.